Helluva Boss is an adult independent animated web series created by Vivian Medrano, also known as VivziePop, who also created the animated internet phenomenon Hazbin Hotel, which has received an A24 deal soon to come late next year with studio backing, but more to that later. Brandon Rogers co-writes Helluva Boss and stars as the main character Blitzo, who's the boss of an organization called Imps, the Immediate Murder Professionals. Imps who are assigned to kill anyone in the living world for being responsible over making people end up in hell. So this show overall is like an animated The Office. I mean, it doesn't have the shaky camera effect, but it does have 3 people in an office, and you have these crazy, larger-than-life characters working with each other reluctantly to form a business of assassinating people. And it is hilarious. The story, the characters, with its unapologeticness, and its over-the-top dark tones with blood, guts, and gore. You have Moxie, who is an uptight employee assassin who is constantly annoyed with Blitzo's unorthodox ways of leadership. The cheerful Millie, another employee assassin and also Moxie's girlfriend, who tries to support him in every single way. And the intern Luna, who is moody and vitriolic, and apparently Blitzo adopted her? And she kicks babies out of prams. So Helluva Boss released their second episode called Lululand, and I want to talk about it. This time we focus on Stolas, the Goetian prince. Goetian? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Whom Blitzo slept with so that Blitzo can get a book that leads to the real world. So Stolas hires the imps to bodyguard him so that he can bring his reluctant daughter Octavia to a theme park, Lululand. A theme park that she used to go to when she was a kid. The problem is, he has been caught cheating, so his whole family life turns to shambles. His wife hates him, his daughter hates him. Yeah, it's not really looking well for him. So this episode is ultimately Stolas trying to win back Octavia's affection, whilst the imps bodyguard Stolas. Now, every single episode since I saw the pilot, I noticed that the production values just get better and better. You can tell every single ounce of hard work and effort everyone put into this show, especially on an independent, non-studio backing level. The character designs, the sound design, the art assets, the illustrations, the animation. You can tell how much improvement the creators put into these episodes, and they never cease to impress you with each one. I really admire the use of color and lighting, especially when you're in Stolas' palace. The lighting is beautiful to look at when you see the sunlight shine through the windows. I mean, is there a sun in hell? I don't know where that would come from. But I also noticed that there is a change in tone, and is different from the rest of the episodes. This episode begins with Octavia when she was little, having a nightmare, and Stolas sings her a lullaby, saying that everything's going to be okay. Now, not only is it really emotional, and the song is beautiful, like it reminds me of a David Bowie song or Goodbye Moonman from Rick and Morty, but as you can see, worlds colliding into each other and explosions happening, and also when you hear the lyrics of the song, Stolas is saying that when he'll be gone, everything will be okay, or she'll be okay. It's sort of foreshadowing a cataclysmic event, and we are yet to know any of this. This song is a hint that Helluva Boss is starting to be story arc based, and we thought that Helluva Boss was episodic, whereas Hazbin Hotel was story arc based. We're like 2 episodes in, and this song came completely out of nowhere, and I bet people were watching this thinking, okay, when are we gonna get to the slapstick like Helluva Boss is known for? Usually from the very beginning, episodes start with over-the-top slapstick jokes, but this one is just very emotional, and that really surprised me. Another thing that impressed me was the voice acting. What? The voice actors did a great job, especially with the characters that had to show their emotional side. The Jester Fizzaroli robot does a terrific performance, and I also really like the sound design whenever he talks and he stutters. The Fizzaroli robot performs a song called Lululand, and that was one of my favorites. And in my opinion, too short. Another hint of Helluva Boss being story arc based is that there is some dialogue exchanged between Blitzo and the Fizzaroli robot saying that he used to be a clown in Lululand. You sort of want to know more about the past between these two. In terms of the flaws, I'm noticing that there's a lot of shot-for-shot scenes with a Goofy movie. Like, I'm noticing that they're using that movie as a reference. I don't know whether that's a flaw or an observation. It's sort of close to being like a homage because it also has the same plot of a father trying to take a frustrated son or a daughter to a theme park that they used to go to so that they can appease their affections. So yeah, I don't know if that was meant to be a homage or it was just copying it. It's probably a homage. When they enter Lululand, they always go on about how inadequate it is, like saying that it's overpriced, it reeks of insecure corporate shame, and there's papers around claiming that it is not a copycat of Lucifer, world of spelled with a U instead of 2 O's. So that was funny because it's bringing a light to people clearly copying a much better intellectual property. But at the same time, it would be much more funnier or better if we saw the first Lululand so that we can compare the two and understand how insecurely inadequate it is. And on an emotional level, it is relying on your sympathy for Stolas because he is the one who is suffering here. Throughout the episode, he's trying his best to appease for Octavia's affections so she can come back to a time where everything was simpler when she was a child and she enjoyed this theme park, but it's really not working well for him. But at the same time, he is openly flirting with Blitzo in front of his daughter.
I'm calling the only man who can me.
What?
He's putting his own happiness in front of her. So despite singing a nice song when she was little, he does start to lose credibility. It's not like I hate the character. I really like Stolas. And you do understand where he comes from when you notice that his wife Olivia is more shocked by the fact that he had an affair with an imp, which is the lowest class of demons, rather than the fact that he cheated on her. But people do claim that he is a horrible husband, but a good father. But I didn't think like openly flirting with Blitzo in front of her. I'm not sure if he was a good father in those times either. And also in the end, he also turns one of the demons who tries to kidnap or kill his daughter and him into stone. And he could have done that ages ago, but he chose to do it there and then. I don't know what that was all about. Maybe it was like an arc of him not being selfish anymore. So on the surface, this episode looks like a fun trip to a theme park with an emotional father-daughter relationship, but you also have imps causing havoc and having fun on the B-plot. But it's also hinting that Helluva is going to be story arc based as well as Hazbin Hotel. It makes me interested to see who they're going to focus on in the next episode. Will they dive into Blitzo's past even more? Will it focus on either Millie or Luna for the first time on their arcs? Maybe we'll focus more on Moxie's arc like in the first episode. I remember that Moxie was trying to believe that things don't have to end in violence, especially with the Killer family, so he offered them to call the authorities. But in the end, they got blown to bits by the police. So I guess that was an arc of Moxie realizing that their violent, inhumane work is necessary. We all know that Hazbin Hotel won't be coming till late next year, and we're just itching to see more of the characters there and their stories. But luckily for now, we get to explore more and beyond in the world of Hell in Helluva Boss, in episodic stories with equally great characters, jokes, music, story, and animation. The thing is, we all thought that despite Helluva Boss takes place in the same world as Hazbin Hotel, we thought it was episodic compared to Hazbin Hotel. Or is it? We're just gonna have to find out in the next episode, which will be coming in the late 2021 since Vivian released the trailer. So overall, this episode was okay. It was sweet and a little emotional. So whatever the next episodes will be, I'll be looking forward to them. So what about you guys? Did you like it? Did you hate it? What do you think of the show overall? Comment down below, share with me your thoughts. And if you want to see me talk more about animation, film, or other creative projects, hit that subscribe button. And stay tuned because the next video I'm making will be a review on Disney Pixar's Soul. I know it's been more than a week since it released, but bear with me, it's still going underway. And also happy 2021, guys. I guess you could say that it has been a hell of a year. Yes, that's the only reason why I made this entire video, just to make those terrible puns. And until next time, guys, have a great one.